Alright, let's try this again. Today we're going to go ahead, we're going to talk about the electron cloud model. Just some amazing stuff going on here. We can't credit it to just one scientist. A lot of different scientists put this together, helped put this together. And to me it's just amazing how God made atoms, how God actually put our world together. It's just insane, and even just how the little electrons act. But that's going to be one of the things I'm going to ask him why he did it this way when I get to heaven. And looking forward to that. So, first thing we need to learn, the electrons actually appear and disappear at random in clouds. Now, what's a cloud? A cloud is an area where there's the most probability of finding an electron. Now, we can actually have two electrons in each cloud. The weird thing is they're appearing and disappearing at random. An electron, it can move from point A to point B like we know and like we see people moving through a room or so, but they can also just appear in one area and disappear, and as they are disappearing they're appearing somewhere else. So it's just amazing, just blows my mind. I can't fully understand it or explain it. But we have two electrons per cloud. Now remember, electrons don't like each other, so they don't like being next to each other as well. The first cloud is round, or you could also call it just a sphere. Now you guys can see I have a nice little sphere right there, and so we got a nice little sphere, and it can have up to two electrons in it. Well, if I have one electron, now I have hydrogen, because hydrogen has one electron. Now remember, there is a small nucleus in the middle. If I stick another hydrogen in, now we have a helium atom right there, because that's going to have two electrons in it. So then you have a second orbital. The second orbital is actually also going to be round as well. Now if I stick a third electron in there, then we have lithium. And Evan, can you shut the door because it's a little loud out there? Then we have lithium right there. If I stick another electron in, then we actually end up having beryllium. Okay, now the next orbital, the third orbital, is really it's hard to put a name to it. I just called it weird. I have a picture down here of what it actually looks like, but you have to put all those parts together. It looks like a figure 8 that's horizontal, figure 8 on the x-axis, a figure 8 on the y-axis, figure 8 that's vertical. There's another figure 8 just like this one right down here. It's actually coming straight out of your computer screen, straight at you. I can't draw it because you probably don't have a 3D computer screen yet, but it looks something like that. Just I put on an angle, just assume that it's actually coming out of the computer screen at you. Now, that is three different clouds, but it makes one orbital. That orbital comes as a package deal. Okay, so I have four electrons already in here. If I add one more, well, what neutral atom has 5 electrons? That would be a nice little boron. Now the next electron, remember, electrons don't like each other, so I could stick the next electron right here and that'd be okay. The only area where I couldn't put the extra electron, the next electron, is right there, because it already has one electron in that cloud. Now it would rather not be in the same cloud. It will if it has to, it will if you have to pack it in, but it would rather not be in there. So let's see here, what do we have? Carbon right there with 6 electrons. Stick another electron in, we have nitrogen. Okay, now once again, this electron that I stuck in, can't put it right there. Well, I'd rather not go right there. It would also rather not go here because we already have an electron in that cloud. So it's nice little nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon there. Okay, so now we're up to the fourth orbital. Now the fourth orbital is once again round. It's just going to be round, and it's going to be a bigger orbital. It can have up to 2 electrons. So right now we have sodium, and now we have magnesium right there. Okay, now the next orbital, the fifth orbital, is going to be weird again. So I'm going to draw it here, and I am running out of time, but it's just the flower power, as we call it in class, just bigger. Okay, and then once again I can continue filling those petals with electrons. We can see how we're getting bigger and bigger orbitals, and it goes on for that until you hit the D block, but I'll have to explain that in class.